Okay, the problem that we have here is a very loud fan on the power vent. You can hear it grinding away. I've removed the outside cover. So the plan is going to be, as soon as this is done running, I'm going to turn the safety switch off, disconnect the electrical. Hopefully those nuts on those studs, I might have to get some penetrating oil. You can see them right there. But yeah, this thing's grinding away and it's really becoming a problem. So we're going to get this replaced. Shouldn't be too bad. Get a little bit of Freol on there. You can see I turned the safety switch off. This is the doghouse here, tiny little doghouse for this motor. A couple Phillips head machine screws will pop this open. Look at this. I give you a whopping 2 inches to work with, so I'll open up these wire nuts. Just a 120 volt, black to black, white to white, green to green, no big deal. Disconnecting time. Okay, interestingly, these nuts kind of scared me a little because you don't want these studs to break, but they were 9mm. So I had a 9mm wrench to break them free. I got a 9mm nut driver here, which is helping out. One thing I didn't like is this metal sheath. We call this like a BX. You can see that it right here at the seam, it kind of broke right there. So I'm probably going to have to be very careful and make sure that when this goes in, the metal sheath is on there like that. So that kind of sucks, but it's not much I can do. I'm not really planning on trying to get into the inside and redo this damn feed. So hopefully we're okay. There we go. Wow. I suspect just that the bearing was just getting really loud. There's my new one right there. We'll zoom in and take a peek at that. You can see it's 3,000 RPM. Everything should match up pretty good. I'll take this doghouse cover on and put the connector on there. Now you can see there may have been a little, Bill recommended that I put a little silicone on there, which I'll do. I'll clean this up. I'll go get a little bit of sandpaper and clean that up. And we'll put some silicone on it. And we'll get the connector, the cable connector, inside the doghouse of the box and get it all prepped. Okay, a little update. There was some old silicone. I used some sandpaper. Tried to clean up around here where it's going to be mating. I put some high temp anti-seize on the 3 studs. So now I'm going to be taking some silicone and gooping this area up. Okay, you can see the high temp silicone around there. You can see when you get this, it's got like a squirrel cage on it. Then it has this piece here. You just got to rotate it so the holes line up. And then this will basically go in place like that and line up. I'll show you momentarily when I get it on. And then we'll put the 3 nuts on it. Okay, you can see how that all lines up nice. I'll use the nut driver. I'll torque them down. Then I'm going to take my rag and dress that up a little bit. Okay. You can see that the motor is in location. The nuts, they're nylon nuts. They're in there snug. Now I'm going to carefully work this connector. As I said, I really don't feel like pulling all new wires. I wish they left me a little more, but this will work. And I gotta be careful right here because there's a slight break, but I believe I'll be able to put that armored sheath in and it'll help out. So we'll get this connector in here. This connector style, you put the cable in the connector, then you put it in the hole, and then as you tighten this screw, it'll clamp in and lock onto the top of the doghouse of the motor. Okay, you can see how the connector goes. The MC cable or the armored cable just goes through here. And you can see I kind of tucked it in that hole right there. I may take some high temp duct seal and put it in there just as a little bit of extra protector, because that's obviously a weak spot. Okay, obviously green to green, white to white, black to black. The kit comes with some new blue wire nuts, so we'll wire nut that up, and then we'll get this cover on. And then we'll talk about one more thing about this motor replacement. Okay, you can see the connections are made. Twisted the metal strands together first, and then cranked on the blue wire nuts. So we'll very gently tuck these into position and get the cover and put the cover on. Cover's on. The motor's changed out. So what you're supposed to do with this motor is, obviously there's a bearing here and there's a bearing on the inside and the front. So see that little opening? I'll zoom in there, right there and right there. So here's where it gets a little tricky. There is a special oil. It's a very, very, it's kind of like a refined oil. It's a high temp oil. It's costly. You can pick it up on Amazon. I found some made by this company right here. It's like $40 for a little tiny bottle. And I think the idea is you want to put like 6 drops of oil in this thing, maybe every 6 months or once a year. And then I think you'd get some prolonged life on that. I can recall over the years, sometimes my friend Bill would come over and we'd open this up and give it a few drops. Maybe we'd forget a year or two, but at the end of the day, this motor right here, I got damn near all of 15 years on it. So hopefully we're in good shape. I'm going to put this cover back on, and then we'll go turn the safety switch back on, and I'm sure this thing's going to call. I might take some high temp duct seal and put a little in this area right here for a little extra protection. I'm thinking about doing that, but we should be good to go. Going to zoom into the nameplate of the unit, and like I said, this stainless steel one, this is my second one. When I bought the house, there was a different style and it had really all rotted out. So back maybe about 15 years ago, we paid somewhere around $1,000 for this, and it's lasted well. I like the idea of just the motor being replaced and the housing basically standing the test of time. So I'm going to go turn this thing on and test her out, clean up some of this mess. All right, furnace switch is on. There we go. That's a nice sound to hear. Plenty of hot air coming out. Nice and quiet. This is great news. All right, Bill, if you watch this video, brother, thanks a lot for helping me out with this motor. Appreciate it. All right.